fire in the freezing rain, dancing hearts with no refrain. Every touch a spark too bright to tame, but stars don't always spell our name. You were the song I almost wrote, a whisper caught inside my throat. Now every word I sing still chokes on everything we'll never know. We were almost always forever, two hearts almost brave enough to fall together. We were nearly perfect, but fate had its own pros. I loved you most when we were almost. Your sweater still hangs on my chair, midnight talks still fill the air. We had the map but lost the road, a love so full but never whole. You were the vow I didn't say, a chance I let just drift away. Now I trace your name in yesterday, still aching for a better way. We were almost forever, two hearts almost brave enough to fall together. We were nearly perfect, but life had doors that closed. I loved you most when we were almost. In another life, I hold your hand. We build a home on shifting sand. But in this one, I just stay in the echo of what we planned. We were almost lovers, almost home, two souls almost fearless to call it our own. We were nearly perfect, heaven knows. I'll never forget when we were almost. Maybe love like ours is meant to haunt the close. We were nothing, we were almost. We were almost sunrise after the rain, almost the reason to forget the pain. We were inches from always holding the flame, but the wind never listened when we called its name. You traced your dreams on my skin, like love was something we could win. We lived in moments, not in plans, with borrowed time inside our hands. I saw a lifetime in your eyes, but forever doesn't always arrive. We danced in shadows of what could be, too scared to fall, too blind to see. And every kiss was close enough, but close don't count when it's real love. We were almost everything, almost the song we'd always. Two hearts beating just too slow, too afraid to let it go. We were the love that came so close, not quite nothing, but we were almost. I still remember how you smiled, like we were safe at least for a while. We had the words but held them back, afraid the truth would leave a crack. And now you're just a quiet ache, a memory I can't remake. You were the maybe in my mind, the almost home I didn't find. We tried to fake a future bright, but stars don't shine if you block the light. We were almost always there, a touch away from something rare, a perfect love not meant to last, a future swallowed by the past. We held it tight then let it go. We were nothing, but we were almost. Another time, a different day, we might have had the words to stay, but love like ours can lose its way. Even hearts break when they delay. We were almost right, a spark that never found the night. We were the echo of a vow. We couldn't speak, we don't know how. I still believe in what we chose, even if we were just almost. Not forever, not in vain, just almost. And that still remains. Your hand fit mine like the end of a prayer, but prayers don't always find the air. I saw forever in your stare, but forever doesn't always care. We painted dreams on broken walls, whispered truths we can't recall, laid beside a silent fear that what we had might disappear. We loved in ways we couldn't name, and lost the fight that lit the flame. I still hear your voice in rooms you've never been, still write your name beneath my skin, and every what if still finds its place inside the space you used to grace. We were almost perfect, almost right, a story flickering in borrowed light. We were holding something gold, too afraid to let it unfold. Not quite strangers, not quite ghosts. We weren't forever, but we were almost. You smiled like time was ours to steal, but we mistook the for real. We gave just enough to feel the ache, then pulled away before we break. No one's wrong and no one wins, just lovers lost beneath their skin. Ooh, you were the song I couldn't sing, the quiet hush in everything. And though we tried to light the dark, we never really struck the spark. We were almost always almost true, hearts too fragile to push through. We were moments made to last, but time just held us in the past, close enough to feel the ghost. We were nothing, we were almost. If I had said the word is almost flight, almost brave enough to make it right. But almost love, as sweet as it shows, leaves the deepest kind of echo. You'll always be the one I chose, even if we were only almost yours, almost mine. Love like that's too base and kind. We were almost sunrise on your skin, almost the place where hearts begin. We were almost written in the stars, but some stories don't make it that far. We built a world in whispered lines, stolen hours, borrowed time, tangled fingers, fading light. You were almost mine that night. We loved like it was meant to last, but we were chasing shadows from the past. You were the echo in my chest, the song I couldn't quite express. We stood on edges made to fall, and never really jumped at all. We were almost everything, almost forever in a ring. We were fire but not flame, too in love to take the blame. We were close enough to touch the ghost, not quite strangers, but we were almost. We talked it maybe soft and slow, dreamed of places we'd never go. You held me like a gentle storm, a little wild, a little warm. But deep down we both always knew, almost love can still undo. You were the pause between my lines, the mist hello in perfect rhymes. And though we danced around the truth, we never let it see our youth. That we were almost everything, almost the song the angels sing. We were fire but not flame, too much fear stayed proclaimed. We were moments lovers want the most, not quite always, but we were almost. We had said what we felt then, would we be more than just back when? Or were we meant to break that way, to teach the hard one not to say? We were almost time, lost fate, two hearts that met just slightly late. We were magic left unsaid, a quiet tear we never shed. We were nothing, but we lost the coast. We weren't forever. Almost yours, almost mine, still hurts sometimes. We were almost. I saw the future in your eyes, like Sunday mornings wrapped in light, and held on like we had the right. And you were the calm I didn't know I needed, the reason all my edges started bleeding. We traced a life on borrowed skin to know where to begin. We weren't broken, we weren't whole, just two hearts learning how to fold. The truth was soft but sharp as glass. We reached for more but moved too fast. And even love can lose its grip when fear is sleeping on your lips. We were almost always, almost brave, standing on the edge we couldn't save. We were fire without the flame, a perfect song without a name. Close enough to feel the cost, not quite forever, but we were almost. I still remember your voice in the dark, how every whisper left a mark. We never fought, we never stayed, just slowly let the light decay. And now I lie in empty sheets where almost love still softly beats. You were the dream I tasted, the goodbye I can't replace. And though we tried to make it right, some love can't live without the fight. We were almost something people write about, hearts too full to leave, too scared to shout. We were pages left unread, words we should have said instead. Not quite nothing, not quite close. You and I, we were almost. If I had turned around that night, would we have held a different light? But love that hesitates too long still ends up in a goodbye song. We were almost timeless, almost true, almost found a way to make it through. We were dancing on a wire, hearts too heavy, hands on fire. I still remember we were, still remember what we lost. Not quite forever, but we were almost. Almost lovers, almost home. Still hurts to know we were almost. We were almost fire, burning through the coldest rain. We were almost lights that never had to fade from sight. Almost everything we dreamed, but nothing we could keep. We talk like lovers lost in time, built castles in a borrowed rhyme. We kiss like we had years to go, but deep inside we both knew no. We touched the edge of something real, but real was more than we could feel. You were the question I couldn't ask, the future hidden in the past. We held it close but not too tight, afraid of what would feel too right. We were almost always, almost right. Two hearts trying not to shine too bright. We were almost heaven, but heaven came too close. We were nothing, but we were almost. I still remember how you breathed, the way your silence spoke to me. We planned a life we never lived, wrote pages fate refused to give. And if love was just a little more, we might have walked through that same door. You were the song stuck in my head, the dream I left inside my bed. And though we said we'd be just fine, you still live between the